Maze games are fun, but they get boring very fast. Once you solve the puzzle, that's it. You know the path forever. So here's the question. Can we make a game that generates infinite mazes, each one different, using just a microcontroller? The solution is procedural generation. Instead of pre-designed levels, I'm going to generate these levels using a depth-first search algorithm. Initially, I was going to make this with an Arduino Uno, but the maze generation algorithm was large and the code wouldn't fit on it. But instead of giving up, I switched over to the ESP32. More power, more memory, and still small and cheap. The maze is drawn on a little OLED screen. This is a 1.3-inch display with a resolution of 128 by 64 pixels, and it is driven by an SH1106 driver. So if you have an SSD1306 display, this code might not work and you might need to make some changes. And I'm using an MPU 6050 motion sensor to track tilt, so moving the ball feels natural, like rolling it through a maze game. The display and the MPU 6050 are both I2C devices, so connect them both to the same SDA and SCL pins of the ESP32. The I2C pins are different for each microcontroller. Check your board's datasheet and connect them. And connect 3.3 volts for VCC and ground for ground. I've linked the code in the description. You can download it if you want to make this yourself. In the code, you need the U8G2 library. Install that from the library manager. The code uses the depth-first search algorithm, which basically visits every cell on the screen and creates a path. And next, if you're using a bigger or a smaller screen, make sure to change your screen width and screen height here. And usually the OLED's I2C address is this, but if your display has a different address, you can change that here. And this is the tilt threshold for the MPU 6050 sensor. You can change this, you can lower this value if you want it to be more sensitive, and you can increase this value if you want it to be less sensitive. And that's pretty much what you can change in this code. And also, if you want to use an external button to regenerate the maze, you can add a button and change it here. For now, we are using 0, which is the internal boot button on most ESP32 dev boards. And the rest of the code is complex algorithm that creates the maze every time. So you can go ahead and upload this code to your ESP32. Here is a working demo of the algorithm generating a level. I've slowed it down so that you can see. It basically visits every cell on the screen and creates a path. So the ESP32 creates a new maze every time you reset it or just press the boot button. The result, an endless maze machine. Every reset, the ESP32 builds a fresh puzzle in under a second. No two are alike. You'll never memorize a path because the game literally doesn't repeat itself, at least not intentionally. So yeah, it turns out we can generate infinite maze levels on microcontrollers. An ESP32, a cheap OLED and a motion sensor to make a pocket-sized puzzle console that never runs out of content. What infinite game should we try next? Comment your suggestions and see you in the next video because the learning never stops.